These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. I used to wear bulky guards that slip down every game. These stay in place the whole time.
These shin pads are stretchy, durable, definitely not be ripping anytime soon.
Switch the goat sleeves now. They don't slip, they don't slide, nice and snug, nice and tight.
It's crazy how light these things are. I've worn a lot of old school pads in my time, and these are featherweight and super comfortable.
Legend begins where heroes end. Why are you still wearing those old clunky shin pads when you could be wearing these?
I used to struggle with shin guards sliding all game. These are a game changer. Put them on, you don't even notice them. They're comfortable, keep you going until finish.
It shows how fast you move on the pitch because it's stuck to the shin bone and does not slip and slide all around your shin.
No distractions, no readjusting, just focus on the match. What I like about these is you can wear them all day. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. The material's soft and supportive. It's the perfect mix of comfort and performance. These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there. These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. What I like about these is you can wear them all day. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. The material's soft and supportive. It's the perfect mix of comfort and performance. The first thing I notice is that these guards don't move. Once they're in place, they stay there. I can tackle, sprint, or slide without adjusting them. You feel secure and locked in. My first impressions of the GOATS guards, honestly, super light and super clean. Straight away, you can tell they're built to move with you. No bulk, just sleek protection that actually feels pro. These guards don't move. The first thing I notice is that these guards don't move. Once they're in place, they stay there. I can tackle, sprint, or slide without adjusting them. You feel secure and locked in. No bulk, just sleek protection that actually feels pro. My first impressions of the GOATS guards, honestly, super light and super clean. Straight away, you can tell they're built to move with you. No bulk, just sleek protection that actually feels pro.
Hi everyone, happy Thursday. A big thank you for joining us. Good evening to Mr. Vela. Good evening, Xavier. Khaleesi, I hope you're well. I can see you all jumping through and getting online now. Now, guys, what I need you to do is we don't have a lot of questions or queries in the community for today. So I want you to drop your questions into YouTube. So drop your questions that you want me to cover off. If there was something that you asked during the week and we didn't get a chance to get through it, I know I've got one area I'm going to cover for Xavier on Saturday. But if there's something that you want me to cover, guys, drop it in the questions for me. What I am going to do is I'm going to hop straight back out just to cover a few things with us whilst you guys are dropping in your questions. So I'm just going to share my screen really quickly and hopefully you guys are seeing everything that we've got on here. So a couple of updates on our communities. We said if we can get inside the top 5 in sports on school, we're going to be winning. Guess what? We are now in number 6. We have only got one more place to go and we'll be inside the top 5. This is no thanks, guys, not just to me and my team, but to you guys as members. So remember, we need you to post, comment, like, be on the community as much as you can, more now than ever. The more posts you do, the more questions, the more comments you do on posts. Post me some pictures, videos, send me videos in a football clips asking me, right, why does this player do this? Or start cutting up highlight reels from Champions League games and saying that, why do they play in this formation? Start being really intuitive and clever, guys. The more clever we get with posting videos and pictures and asking questions, don't just ask it to me. So say, you know, at Raymond's Wood, can you watch this video and tell me why they do X, Y, or Z? But also challenge your other community members and say, can you help me with the answer as well? So a big shout out to everyone who's helped us get to number 6 in the sports category. Overall, we were out of the 181,000 platforms. We were like 120,000 when we first started on here 12 months ago. The last time we looked, we were sat at about 450th. I've recently had a little look overall on the overall leaderboard, and the last time we looked, we were 118. We are now 108. So out of 181,000 platforms, we are number 108. Okay? So globally around the world, we are nearly inside the top 100. And again, how do we help this? How do we affect it? By bringing in friends and family members to the platform, commenting, communicating, liking, adding posts. So the more that you guys do, the more we are going to move up in the leaderboards. So that was a good place and a good area to start on. We'll go back into our platform. So we've had a couple of little posts I've dropped in this week. One was a big one, and I want everyone to get involved on this one. Who earns the most money in the Premier League? Is it Liverpool? Is it Man City? Is it Arsenal? Is it Chelsea? Or is it another club? And what I want you to do, guys, is click on the option and then give me a comment on who you think it is. Okay? Also, there is a little cool article that you can read there as well, which is interesting and it's full of information. But give it a little click, give me a comment on why you think it's Liverpool, why you think it's Manchester United, okay, or Manchester City. Let me know who you think it is. And then finally, just some updates, guys. I'm seeing a lot of the same players: Josh Vela, Jake Watson-Roddy, Khaleesi, the Hayders, Locke, Xavier. It's the same players who are constantly logging the calls, logging the planners, logging your GPS results, your wellness check-ins. Just make sure, if you're not one of these guys, you need to make sure you get more consistent with logging your calls and also with trying to get as much information logged down as possible. Now, this is a great way to see how you're traveling as well. So if you click on your profile, you can see here how consistent you are. So I'm on I think I'm on about 60-day streak of more than 100 activities. Again, if we want to look at, let's say, a user, so let's see if we can pick on Khaleesi, we'll be mean. We can click on Khaleesi's and we can see, look at this, Khaleesi's in a similar one as me. She's been on a hell of a run consistently since the 2nd of December. We have got solid dark greens all the way through. This is what it needs to look like, okay? I'll give you an example of another player. Let me think. Let's see if I can pick on someone. Let's see if I can go members. And let's see, I can pick on this one. Look at this one. No activity. But I'm being really mean because this is actually my younger brother who's not a football player, but I give him access so we could have a look at the system. But that's what it looks like. So we need to have a little look. Let's have a look at Matthews. How's Matt going? Matt, oh, it's not so great, Matt. So if you're online, Matt, you need to make sure we're logging some activities in here. We're looking a little bit grey. Also, for anyone who's not aware, Matt Wooden, he's been with me for about 6-7 years now. He's actually making the move to the UK, to Liverpool and England in September this year, and he's just in the process of sorting out his academy deal over at Liverpool, which is super, super exciting. So we've got some good news stories to come with that one, but I need to be speaking to Matt about this because this is not good. We need to get him more active onto the platform. So that's my little complaining session over about making sure you're on and logging. We'll have a little update on the leaderboards. Over the last 7 days, Khaleesi's just ahead of Xavier and Josh. Overall, on the last 30 days, Khaleesi's still just ahead of Xavier and Josh as well. Guys, doing something as simple as pulling up a post that's got a little bit of blue writing on, like there, and reading through the comments and giving them a like. That's how you get yourself 1 point every time you hit a little thumbs up. So every time you engage and do a thumbs up, you're getting yourself a point on the leaderboard. You can literally attack this for 10 minutes every day, and you are going to be getting points for free just for liking where it's greyed out and turn it to gold. And have a little read of the comments. And if you like any of the comments, if you want to get 10 points, all you need to do is on one of these comments, you can literally just reply like this and say, how cool is this? And you've just got yourself 10 points on the leaderboard. Now, if Xavier replies back to me, I will get an extra bonus 5 points. So how hard is that, guys? It's easy peasy. Don't be missing out on being top on the leaderboard just because you don't want to come in and have a little read and comment on a few of the posts. Now, I am going to just jump back out to my screen. What I am going to do is, very quickly, we are going to go to a very, very quick break.
You don't get sweaty. Simple as that.
When we get back, we are going to look at the questions we've got in. If you haven't dropped one in, please drop us a question in. I'll be back with you guys in 1 minute.
Pads will help you not slip when you're going in for a tackle.
My old socks will get sweaty halfway through the game. Not with Ghost Grip. They stay cool and dry from start to finish.
These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. I used to wear bulky guards that stick down every game. They stay in place the whole time.
These shin pads are stretchy, durable. Definitely not be ripping anytime soon.
Switch the goat sleeves now. You don't slip, you don't slide. Nice and snug, nice and tight.
It's crazy how light these things are. I've worn a lot of old school pads in my time, and these are featherweight and super comfortable.
Legend begins where heroes end.
Why are you still wearing those old clunky shin pads when you could be wearing these?
I used to struggle with shin guards sliding all game. These are a game changer. Put them on, you don't even notice them. They're comfortable, keep you going until finish.
It shows how fast you move on the pitch because it's stuck to the shin bone and does not slip and slide all around your shin.
No distractions, no readjusting, just focus on the match. What I like about these is you can wear them all day. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. The material is soft and supportive. It's the perfect mix of comfort and performance. These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there. These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. What I like about these is you can wear them all day. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. The material is soft and supportive. It's the perfect mix of comfort and performance. The first thing I notice is that these guards don't move. Once they're in place, they stay there. I can tackle, sprint, or slide without adjusting them. You feel secure and locked in. My first impressions of the Goats guards, honestly, super light and super clean. Straight away, you can tell they're built to move with you. No bulk, just sleek protection that actually...
Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for your patience. I was just getting my screen just connected up, ready for us to roll. So we've got our first question in, and this one's from Mr. Vella. Hi Ray, could you explain each zone on the football pitch? You've mentioned zone 14 a couple of times, but what are the other zones? Thank you. So, great question, Josh, and I'll answer this question for you. So what we'll do is, I will very quickly share my screen. And I will just connect it up again, just to here. Okay, so the reason where this come about, and what I've done is just to save a bit of time, I'm just going to just draw these up. So at the training ground at Liverpool Football Club, and I'm going back 20 years ago, the big buzzword at the time was all around visualization and understanding that players learn in different ways. So some of the ways that players learn, and I won't put all of the zones on, but you'll get the gist of it as we go along. In fact, you know what? Let's just get them all on. And then these zones actually replicate across on the opposite side as well. So as you can tell, there is 45 zones in a half, okay? Now, quite simply, the reason why this was done was I just explained about different learning styles. Now, can you help me out? And what I'm going to do is, if you know of any learning styles, drop it in the comments in YouTube. And the first different answers, the first 5 different answers, if you can give me up to 5, will win a $25 voucher each for Goats. Now also, I know we had some winners on Tuesday. I've had to generate the codes on the system and I'll get them tomorrow. So anyone who's waiting on them from Tuesday, don't worry, you will get them, but I'm just waiting for the codes to generate and then we'll get them for you. So, excuse me, I'm just nearly dying. So if you can name a type of a learning style, how people learn, if you're in the first 5 answers and they're all different, you'll win a $25 voucher. Start typing it into YouTube now and I'll have a little look to see if anyone's getting any of them. So let's have a little look. Let's see if anyone's putting some of the right answers in. So when we're talking about learning styles, let's see if anyone can see what type of learning styles there are. Now, maybe if 1 or 2 of you have got mums and dads who are teachers, you'll know what these are. But, oh, brilliant. So I've got someone's put visual in, and the first person to put that one in was Khaleesi. Someone put show and demonstrate or show and demonstrating, but it's got to be visual. So I'm going to give that one to Khaleesi. So visual is 1. Can anyone give me another learning style? In total, there's 4. And I'm going to give you another 30 seconds. So drop your answers in. I'll give you 30 seconds to see if you can get any more in. Khaleesi Wales has won 1, so she can't win any more. But we've got 3 more prizes to give. I'll give you 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So someone's put physical. It's close, but it's not the word I'm looking for. So I'll tell you what the other ones are. So visual is using your eyes to see. The next one is what I'm doing now, is auditory, which is talking, listening. The third one is what I'm doing right now, is read and write. And the last one is something called kinesthetic. And what kinesthetic means, it means learn by doing, hands-on practice, so physical, movement, real-life examples. So, Shooter, you were close, you put physical, but you would have had to put kinesthetic to get it. So, visual, auditory, read and write, kinesthetic. So, just to explain what they all are again, visual is pictures, diagrams, charts, videos, mind maps. So what you're looking at now is a visual learning skill. Now back to the question that we got asked, which is about the zones, okay? And you've heard me speaking about the zones a lot. The zones, when we look at the zones and the numbers, this is this area that the question was you got asked about. Now, the reason why we have the numbers in the different zones is that when you're a coach, you want to have a very quick way of explaining to the player. And what we discovered was that when we used to say to the player, right, you're left back, but I need you higher up the pitch. But what does that mean? And where is higher up the pitch? Is higher up the pitch as a fullback, if you're a left back, is higher up the pitch here on the halfway line? Or is higher up the pitch there? And what we found was lots of things get lost in communication. So this is one of the reasons why we drew up these boards with the zones. So if I say to my fullback, look, I want you to get beyond zone 37 when we're in possession. So what I'm basically saying is I want my fullback to be somewhere up here past zone 37. So straight away, if we've got the board in the dressing room and I'm explaining, it's really easy for that fullback to go, oh yeah, I know what he wants. And what he's explained, he knows what he's given to you as an instruction. So it's very visual. Now, we might say to the centre midfielders, we want you in between 31 to 33 to 22 to 24. So we want you guys in these zones here. And we don't want you to go out that zone. And we're talking about BPO. So ball possession opponents. So when they've got the ball, we don't want you to go out of that zone. We want you in them 6 zones. Straight away, visually, you understand where you need to be. And we don't have to guess that you think I meant something else. And it all gets lost in translation. So hopefully that explains a little bit about the zones. Now, the one particular zone that I speak about a lot is zone 14, which is my favourite zone, which is this zone. Now, what we discovered was that for some reason, 81 to 82% of Premier League goals was scored within a 5 metre radius of zone 14. So that in a nutshell means roughly within this area was where 81 to 82% of Premier League goals come from. Now, I've explained this to you guys many times and where these goals come from, and it's quite simple to see where it comes from. What I will do is I'll show you very quickly on another page. So I'll just add in another page on here. So if we imagine this is our goal line here, and we'll imagine, let me see, and then we got the halfway line up here. We're looking for this zone 14 is in and around this area there. We're looking for players to get to the byline, to here, and look to pull the ball back into this zone. And it's the same from this side. We want the player to get touch tight on the line, and there's a reason why. We want to affect the goalkeeper. So let's imagine this is the goal post and this is the goal post. We want the goalkeeper to be over here covering the front goal post, because that's what they get told to do. Also, when I run along as a wide player to here, all the way to the byline, I will pull across with me a full-back, a centre-back, another centre-back, and normally the other full-back covers back post. So all of a sudden, I've now, remember we spoke about this the other day, about how can we affect the opposition. And how we affect the opposition is by what we do with the ball when we are in ball possession. By making this run all the way down here, we've attracted 1 player, 2 player, 3 player, goalkeeper, 4 players to me. The minute we drill a ball hard and low into zone 14, we've normally got an easy chance on goal, and you've only got to beat 1 fullback. Now, what we discovered was, out of the 81 to 82% of goals scored in and around zone 14, this is where it gets really interesting. 65% of them are drilled high and hard. And quite simply because this fullback here can't touch it with his hands. Otherwise, it's a red card and it's a penalty. So hopefully that explains a little bit about the zones and why I talk a lot about zone 14. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I am going to drop back into the screen. Can you put it in the comments if you thought that was useful? Did you like learning about the zones, and what was one of the things that you liked the most about it? I'm going to go to a very quick ad break in a moment. So what I need you to do is drop in the comments, did you like the explaining about zone 14? Does it make sense now? And now you fully understand why, when I say in and around zone 14 is where we want it, we've got to make sure if we're setting it up, we go down the wide channels, we look to go to the byline, we want to affect the opposition, and once we've affected the opposition, then we've got to drill that ball into zone 14. That is a big tick, and that's your job done. Now, the other person's job then is the attackers, the wide players, the number 10s, the number 6s and 8s are filling the box, but timing your run to perfection. So not making you run until maybe your wide player is 5 to 10 metres from the byline. Then you start to time your run. Timing is everything. And one of the big things that we'll focus on in one of the next calls is making what we call false or dummy runs. So we get one or two players to make runs to the goal line as well, to the posts, to drag defenders with them. Then it leaves your striker and maybe your number 10 to have a shot at goal and an open goal. Okay. Guys, if you loved it, drop it in the comments. Tell me why you liked it. And we'll be back in 1 minute's time.
Don't bunch up, don't get sweaty. Simple as that.
One of the things I noticed about my Goats grip socks is the grip runs across the whole panel, so there's no bunching or sliding in your boots.
These grip pads will help you not slip when you're going in for a tackle.
My old socks will get sweaty halfway through the game. Not with Goats grips, they stay cool and dry from start to finish.
These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. I used to wear bulky guards that slip down every game. These stay in place the whole time.
These shin pads are stretchy, durable, definitely not be ripping anytime soon.
Switch the goat sleeves now. They don't slip, they don't slide. Nice and snug, nice and tight.
It's crazy how light these things are. I've worn a lot of old school pads in my time. In these, are featherweight and super comfortable.
Legend begins where heroes end.
Why are you still wearing those old clunky shin pads when you could be wearing these?
I used to struggle with shin guards sliding all game. These are a game changer. Put them on, you don't even notice them. They're comfortable, keep it going until finish.
It shows how fast you move on the pitch because it's stuck to the shin bone and does not slip and slide all around your shin.
No distractions, no readjusting, just focus on the match. What I like about these is you can wear them all day. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. The material is soft and supportive. It's the perfect mix of comfort and performance. These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there. These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. What I like about these is you can wear them all day. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. The material is soft and supportive. It's the perfect mix of comfort and performance. First thing I noticed is that these guards don't move.
Everyone, welcome back. So big thank you for that question. So what I'm going to show you is very quickly. If we have a look back into, I'll just take us back here a second. So if we go in here, we should be able to see now, guys. So if we have a little look at school, and once we look at school, if we go to community, you'll now notice I've dropped in the learning styles, which is really important. So this is more specific for visualization, and it leads back into that question from Josh. So it was Mr. Vella who posted this one. So great question. Thank you, buddy. Amazing, mate. So the more of these questions we get, the more knowledge we grow on the community. So well done. Big thumbs up as well. So I've put the 4 learning styles in there. This one is more particular to visualization. What we will do is I will add to this post. In the next call, we'll speak about auditory. Then we'll speak a bit about reading and writing, and then we'll talk about kinesthetic. This is good from a coach's point of view, but it's also good from a player's point of view, so you understand. Also, what I've done is for you as well, guys, if you have a little look, I've screenshot the little zone diagram for you. So it'll give you some reminders that we're working on visualization. Khaleesi won a $25 voucher, well done. 45 zones to work in, and 81 to 82% of goals are scored within a 5 meter radius of zone 14. So that's the zone you want to be working on with your teammates to be getting into. So that's in the community there for you guys. Have a little look at that, and I'll give it a little thumbs up as well, see what you guys are thinking. So I'm just going to drop back into the live screen here, and let's see if I can transition in. Here we are. Okay, so looks like we've got a lot of questions in here. This is good. So we spoke about that for Mr. Vela. Love the questions, great feedback, guys. How much risk should a centre midfielder take in possession, and which zone? I love this one, Khaleesi. So this is going to relate obviously back into what we've just been speaking about. So what we will do is I will pull up our screen again within the zones, and I'll give you a little bit of an explainer on where we will go with this and the best way to attack it. So what I'm going to do is I'll connect up my boards in a second, and I'll just get rid of this, and I'll connect us up and we can have a little look. So hopefully you guys are seeing my screen now. All right, so back to the question. How much should a centre midfielder take a bit of a risk, and when in possession, and which zone? So if you're a centre midfielder, if you're an attacking midfielder, so if you're an 8 or a 10, I would say for me, if you find yourself in any of these zones, and you get possession, if you look in front of yourself, no matter where you are, if you've got anything from 5 to 20 meters of space, I would say attack, attack, attack. And I would encourage you to drive with the ball into space. Now, what I would say is, as a centre midfielder, I would not drive with the ball into space and attack and try and take players on. I would always leave 1v1s into these zones from about there and about there. And in these 1v1 duels, normally you want your wide players to be dealing with these 1 versus 1s. Okay, so for me, what you're looking for is 1, getting in possession, 2, drive with your head up into space, and then your next and only option for me is a centre mid. The most risk I would take would be to pass to a teammate and then move into an attacking space. And I'll give you an example of that. Let's wipe all this clean quickly, and I'll just do a little diagram for you. Right, let's imagine you've drove with the ball, you've gone all the way to there, you've then got met by a defender. I would look, if you've got a teammate there or there, I would look to pass off. And depending on the side you pass it to, that should be the run you make. Now, I'm going to teach you one of the greatest centre midfield skills or tricks I can give you. There's a couple of players in the Premier League who do it really well at the moment, but there's one who's my favourite midfielder, probably in the world at the moment. And this particular player is called Dominic Szoboszlai, and he plays for Liverpool. And what he does is this. If he plays the ball here to this guy, his run will be like this. And what he does is he runs across the face of this defender to block him off from getting this way. So he's not able to make that run. And he's actually given this player here now on the ball a bit of protection. By making this run this way and in this direction, what he's actually doing is he's took out this defender and he's given this player a little bit of protection. Okay? Because now if Szoboszlai makes the run this way, not only is the centre back but the left back has got to follow him over this way. And what he's done is indirectly, by getting the left back to come over here and follow him, and the centre back will be there, he's created a space there, but he's also now split the other centre backs and he's created a space there. So these two spaces are big channels for this guy to get into. So great question from Khaleesi. Khaleesi, let me know what you think about that answer. But for me, again, anything in these zones here, head up, drive into space, but you shouldn't be taking players on in 1v1s. Pass the ball and follow the ball to the same side where you play the ball to support with the run. Exactly the same if you play the ball here and this is our defender or midfielder here that we're playing against. Make your run like this across the face of the midfielder. Take this guy or girl out the game. And then you're going to protect this guy in doing so. I hope you've enjoyed that one. Drop it in the comments if you learned something from that one. And I'm going to go back into my live screen and we are going to have a little look, see if there's any other questions in there. So let's have a little look. Can we do a coaching session on each zone? The answer is yes. What we're going to do is, Khaleesi, we're going to go onto those posts that we've just done today. So we're going to actually go through the learning styles first. And we're going to show you how they might relate a little bit to the zones. But then we will do a zonal session, maybe once a fortnight, once a week. But the zones can be quite complicated and I don't want to make them complicated. I want to keep them really specific to your position. Okay, so obviously the reason why it was designed this way as well is you'll like this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a question. If we've got 45 zones in each half, how many zones have we got in the pitch? The first person to drop the answer into the questions, the comments, will win a $25 voucher. How many zones is there across the whole pitch? Go. First one to answer that will win a prize. Let's see who's good at maths. Who's going to be first? Oh, so close. Joshua Vela, you won that by like 0.2 seconds. So it's 90. Now, I'm a big believer in having synergies and having consistency with numbers. If anyone can answer this one right, you'll win a $25 voucher with Josh Vela as well. Now, why did we say, or why did we come up with the zones? But wait there, I'm not finished the question. Why did we choose 90 zones? If you can get the answer right and it links to football, and I might give you the clue if we're not getting the right answer, drop it in the comments, go. Why did we choose 90 zones? Where does that relate to in football? First one to drop it in will win a $25 voucher. Let's see who it's going to be. No, not two halves of the pitch. There we go. We got it. We got it. So, who is John 2BR6? I think that's Xavier. Let me know who that is, but he's put the answer. It's 90 minutes. So the whole reason we drew up the pitch into 90 zones was because... And we're going to give another prize away and ask you why we done it. No, I'll tell you the answer, because you probably won't get this. The reason why we done 90 zones, because it linked to 90 minutes. So you all know there's 90 minutes to the game in normal time. So you will never ever forget that there's 90 zones on the pitch. And that's why we split it up into 90 zones. So for the rest of your life now, you will never forget how many zones there is. And it was down to learning. Because we wanted to visually teach you the zones, but we thought what a great way using auditory listening to teach you to remember how many zones there are. Soon as we say 90 minutes in the game and there's 90 zones, none of yous are ever going to forget. Well done, Xavier. Very well done. So $25 coming your way. Guys, we've got time for one more question. I'm going to go to a quick 1 minute break so I can read through the questions. I'm going to pick out the best question. I'll answer it. And any questions that we didn't answer, we'll get you to post them in the community for me. And I'll definitely move on to them on Saturday for the call. So I'll be back with you guys in 1 minute.
You don't bunch up, you don't get sweaty. Simple as that.
One of the things I noticed about my Goats grip socks is the grip runs across the whole panel, so there's no bunching or sliding in your boots.
These grip pads will help you not slip when you're going in for a tackle.
My old socks will get sweaty halfway through the game. Not with Ghost grips, they stay cool and dry from start to finish.
These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. I used to wear bulky guards that slip down every game. These stay in place the whole time.
These shin pads are stretchy, durable, definitely not be ripping anytime soon.
Switch the goat sleeves now. They don't slip, they don't slide. Nice and snug, nice and tight.
It's crazy how light these things are. I've worn a lot of old school pads in my time. In these, are featherweight and super comfortable.
Legend begins where heroes end.
Why are you still wearing those old clunky shin pads when you could be wearing these?
I used to struggle with shin guards sliding all game.
Hi everyone, welcome back. So I picked out two questions and I'm actually going to answer these. No whiteboard needed, but they're great questions. So first one is Xavier. When I'm off the ball, what are the main things I should be looking for to know if I'm in the right position to help my team and be ready to get the ball? So when you're off the ball, what are the main things you should be looking for to know if I'm in the right position to help my team? Right. So I think you're talking about when you're in ball possession. So let's do it as a double barrel question. When your team is in possession but you're not on the ball, to help your team, you can do one thing, and this is the fundamental basic that you will get taught in England. You need to make the pitch as big and as wide as possible. So if you're playing as a centre mid, you want to create space, you need to go as high up the pitch as possible. If you're a left-sided player, you want to be on the byline, getting white on your boots. And what that means is the white paint on the line, you want to get that on the bottom of your boots, because that means you can't be any wider than that on the pitch. If you're a centre-back or a defender, and even if your team's in possession, you want to be just 20 metres deeper than the ball to make the pitch as big and as wide as possible. Quite simply because the bigger we make the pitch when we're in possession by spreading ourselves out, it means we've got more space, which means we've got more time, which means we can make better decisions. And this actually leads into the next question I'm going to answer. So Xavier, that was a great question. Hopefully it helps you with that one and it helps you answer that one. But basically the answer is simple. When your team's in possession but you don't have the ball specifically, whatever position you play, either go high and wide. If you're a defender, go low and deep. If you're an attacker, go up as high as you can on the pitch. Even if you're offside, it does not matter. There was a game this morning. I'd love to show you the highlight. What I'll do is I'll try and find it and post it later. In the Champions League, there was a goal scored. I'll tell you who it was. It was Wissa for Newcastle United. I'll post it later. It's a great lesson about you're not offside until you touch the ball. And in this particular play, he's 20 metres in an offside position. But what he does is he makes a run to get back onside behind a defender. Then he comes back through, gets on the ball and scores the goal. Okay? So that's what you could focus on in that particular area. So by making that pitch as high and as long and as spread as possible, remember you're not offside until you've actually received the ball. It's that simple. It is that simple. Okay? So next question. This one's from shooting. When I have the ball, I sometimes panic from the press. How do I become more composed on the ball? Do I need to scan more before receiving the ball? So this sort of leads into Xavier's question. This is a great one. So two things. You've already half answered it, Shooty. 100%, you need to be scanning every half a second in a game of football. Always. But the next thing you need to do is what we've just answered for Xavier, is making sure when you're on the ball, you need to make sure when you're off the ball before you receive it, you're scanning and then you're moving to a space that's going to make the pitch as big and as wide as possible. Now, you don't want to go and be right next to a teammate. You need to find a space where you've not got a teammate within 10 metres of you. And it's going to do one or two things. It's going to allow you to get into a space, but hopefully you'll drag and draw the defender with you as well. Okay? Now, when you scan and you move into a space that's making the pitch big and wide, you're going to feel a little bit more confident and a bit more stronger, because you know you've probably isolated one player into that space with you and you've done your job and you've got the dream now. You're in a 1v1 situation. Now, for me, if you're in your own half of the pitch, the decision for me is this: wait for the defending player to come towards you, then just make a pass and run into a space, like we just showed you before, to make that run across. If you're in the final third of the pitch, my advice would be, if you're in a 1v1, take the player on. Have a go at taking the player on. Now, if you know you've got this player beat for pace, because what players do is in the first 10 minutes of the game, players will size each other up. They'll know, I'm faster than you, or he's faster than me. Now, if you know that that player is quicker than you, then my advice would be still go in a 1v1, drive close towards him, but when you get really, really close, as he thinks you're going to try and take him on, then hit a pass to a teammate, and then keep driving into the spaces. So they were two great questions. Guys, if you didn't get your question answered today, can I ask a big favour? Firstly, if you're not subscribed to this channel, you need to subscribe on YouTube to be able to ask a question. If you posted a question and it didn't get answered, remember, what I want you to do is I want you to go over here and come into school, click in here, put in question, put in the question, and make sure you add me, Raymond Wood. The second one, drop me in, hit the category, live weekly coaching calls, and hit post, and I will answer them questions on Saturday for you, okay? So you need to do that in school. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're not a member of school, well, you need to sign up. All you need to do is go to school.com/pro player pathway. It'll take you to our about page. And the first thing you need to do is go to our free platform. You're not allowed inside this paid platform anymore unless you get an invitation to join us, okay? Now, if you jump in this platform and pay and you haven't been approved, you might be removed if we don't think you meet the criteria. We're looking for boys and girls age 7 or 8 all the way to open age, and we're looking to work with aspiring players who want to improve the game of football or soccer, and for those who maybe want to go on and play semi-pro or professional. So again, school.com/pro player pathway. Then when you get to the about page, you've got to click this blue link, join our free platform. Once you're in the free platform, we'll send you a link to send us your highlight reel. We're going to have a look at you. If we think we can work with you, we'll then give you an invitation to join us. And as you will see, we've only got 257 members in here, and we're not going to have many more coming in. We like to keep it nice and tight and knit and quality, and we don't want too many people getting into this paid platform. We only want to work with players who want to really improve the game. So a big thank you guys for joining us. We are going to wrap it up there for today. So big thank you for joining us. I've got to get prepared. I've got a bit of an event on tonight, and I've got an online event at midnight back to Europe. So I've got a bit of preparation work. But as ever, a big thank you. I hope you learnt at least one thing. And that's my mission every time I get on. If I can teach you one new thing every time, I reckon by 20 years' time, you'll have as much knowledge as what I've got in my head. And I can hopefully dump it all out for you to help you make it as a pro. Big thank you for joining us, guys, and I'll see you all on Saturday.
You don't bunch up, you don't get sweaty. Simple as that.
One of the things I noticed about my Goats grip socks is the grip runs across the whole panel, so there's no bunching or sliding in your boots.
These grip pads will help you not slip when you're going in for a tackle.
My old socks will get sweaty halfway through the game. Not with Goat grips, they stay cool and dry from start to finish.
These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. I used to wear bulky guards that slip down every game. These stay in place the whole time.
These shin pads are stretchy, durable, definitely not be ripping anytime soon.
Switch the Goat sleeves now. They don't slip, they don't slide. Nice and snug, nice and tight.
It's crazy how light these things are. I've worn a lot of old school pads in my time,